Welcome back to the Top Notch Documentaries YouTube channel. In this video, I shall be going over a potential victim of Israel Keyes. Given that Keyes never admitted to being involved, it's unlikely that connecting this person to him and getting any real confirmation of their fate will ever be uncovered. Since he died back in 2012, much of the Israel Keyes case is now speculation. As of the time of this video, she is still considered a missing person and may or may not be one of his murder victims. Be sure to comment your thoughts on this missing persons case in the comments below, and tell me some of the missing persons who you believe to be victims of Israel Keyes. The missing persons case, which may be an Israel Keyes victim, comes from Albany, New York. The name of this missing person is Suzanne Lyall, known as Susie to her friends and family. Susie seemed to fall off the face of the earth after getting off a bus near to her university dorm room on March the 2nd of 1998. She had left her job at the Crossgates Mall in Guilderland, New York at around 9 p.m. before getting on a bus back to her dorm room at around 9:20 p.m. A witness, one of her classmates, believed that she had seen Susie exiting the bus at Collins Circle, a short walk away from her dorm. This was at approximately 9:45 p.m. The bus driver confirmed that she had gotten on the bus, but couldn't remember when she had departed. Somewhere between the bus stop and the dorm room, Susie seemed to vanish into thin air. The following afternoon, it was Tuesday now, and Susie Lyall's debit card was used to withdraw $20 at around 4 p.m. Her boyfriend, with whom she kept in regular contact via email, would later tell authorities that only Susie and himself knew the PIN number to the debit card. On being reported missing on the morning of March 3rd, police backtracked the camera footage, which only showed the nearby area and not the ATM. They tracked down some potential suspects, men who had likely used the ATM around the time of the withdrawal. These men were soon cleared of any involvement in the case. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, later refused to talk more with the investigation, and that put police on alert to some type of potential involvement or cover-up on his part. Most people are killed by people that they know, and so the police surely had him as a prime suspect for some time. Susie was somewhat subdued according to her manager, having just sat a midterm exam that same morning before leaving school at roughly 4 p.m. She didn't seem overly impressed with her performance and had wanted to excel at the exam. She had also called her mother prior to her disappearance to say that she was low on cash. Despite her apparent subdued attitude at work that afternoon, it didn't seem like too much motive for her to pack up and begin a new life somewhere else. She didn't have much money, and it didn't make any logical sense to her friends or family for her to just up and leave. To this day, police suspect foul play in the case, and have to side with them. I strongly agree with this suspicion. Susie's friends didn't hear any key noises, which they usually did around the time that Susie got back to the dorm room. This points to the idea that Susie never made it back to the dorm, and puts forth the idea that her boyfriend wasn't involved. He had an alibi that was confirmed, and was the one who reported her missing, because she never made contact via email like she usually did upon returning from work. If he was going to cause harm to Susie, why not travel to her dorm room when she was actually going to be there? He was attending a different college, and it seems like a stretch to say that he was involved. Israel Keyes talked about being two different people for 14 years, matching up with 1998 and not 2001 when he said he murdered his first victim. His confession tapes are not to be taken with 100% believability after all. I noticed some similarities with known victims of Keyes, and I'm sure that you have too. Both Samantha Koenig and the Couriers had debit cards which were either used or were planned on being used. Samantha Koenig's was used, and Keyes planned on using the Couriers, but decided not to because they had a low bank balance. Keyes talked about his old stomping grounds, New York, and knew the area well. He owned property at Tupper Lake and had enlisted in the army in Albany, New York in 1998. The encounter, check that video out, details a woman reporting to have seen Keyes at around 10 PM at a mall parking lot in Albany, New York also. The mall from this encounter is apparently just across the street from where Keyes enrolled in the military the same year. The topic of stalking also crops up. Samantha Koenig was under the impression that there was someone stalking her prior to her murder, and so was Lorraine Currier. Susie Lyall also fits into this category. Weird coincidence. Whilst in New York, this was likely in 1998 as he was about to enroll in the army in July. Keyes took courses to achieve his high school equivalency diploma. I haven't found any information about where he went to complete these, but I'm sure that he would have had to attend some type of school or university campus to do this. In the Dean Koontz book Intensity, which Keyes talked about reading, a university graduate named China Shepherd opens up about her life struggles to her college roommate Laura. The pair go on a drive to Laura's parents, but unknown to them, a serial killer is stalking them. Like I said, this is a theory at the end of the day. Keyes was likely influenced by books. He did take ideas from books. This was just a short video on a potential Keyes victim. I'll be sure to upload any more potential victims of Keyes when I discover any missing persons cases that could tie in with his MO or travel timeline. As always, thanks for watching.